And we're back. Here we are with Haley Viz, the owner of Disco Dolphin. Haley, say hello.
Hello.
She does a lot of events with her store, and your whole store is dedicated to vintage items, correct?
It is, yes.
That's awesome. And where did you get the inspiration for the store?
The inspiration came, I think, at a later time when my mother has always been like a classic rock mom. I grew up listening to her and singing classic rock and everything. Later on, I drew like a connection to the clothing with the connection to the music. But I just think that I really like the clothing, honestly, like with connecting it to the past decades.
I feel that.
Yeah.
And where did the name come from?
The name came from, honestly, an 8-hour car ride. I had rebranded from a different name beforehand. I was Eternal Era, and I just didn't feel like it was exciting. I didn't think it was fitting. I didn't think it was like, going to turn heads or anything. So I was thinking of all these different words, and I was starting to put different words together, just making it up in my head and just seeing like what sounded exciting, and that came together, and I was like, that sounds awesome. So Disco Dolphin was born.
Yeah, it's kind of like your store was it's like a puzzle. You were trying to find what fits best with the type of vibe and aesthetic that you want to go for,
Exactly,
right?
yes.
I love that. And can you share the story behind your passion for vintage fashion?
The story behind it is just, I don't know, honestly, it just sprouted from being in the thrift stores, always gravitating towards those type of clothing, things that were just very unique and different, and things that you don't see like in the mall and in regular stores and stuff. It always just grabbed my attention. So
do you think that ever made it hard to look for clothes, like growing up knowing you had an alternative type of style? Did that ever make it difficult shopping?
It did. I mean, but then also I'm very much able to accessorize things. So I just kind of, if I found something was boring, I'll just put on a crazy necklace or a crazy pair of earrings or something to make it more interesting.
I love that. Like that's really like creative, and I think that shows you have a deeper thinking in things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What challenges have you faced with sourcing authentic vintage clothing, and how do you overcome them?
A lot of people are doing this now, so it's very challenging with having other people in the thrift stores that you don't know are possibly shopping for their own curated collection. So thrift stores, you got to think beyond that. You got to source at like yard sales, estate sales, which it sounds fun, it sounds really easy, but honestly it's not. It could get quite competitive there too. Warehouses, those are kept secret for the most part. It's really hard to find them. So there are a lot of challenges. You just gotta like seek out those types of things and figure out what is going to best fit your vision for your store.
What do you think was a source for like the main, I don't want to say manufacturer, but like where was like the source where you would find like the best pieces, you feel like?
Oh gosh, I think my best pieces were always sourced in a warehouse. Those are always going to be the best, in my opinion, because they're all like, warehouses get enormous amounts of clothing shipped, and oftentimes in like semi trucks and bales, so to say. So they oftentimes always curate and go through their merchandise and sort it all, and sometimes they don't. It just depends. But it's always best to go for a warehouse.
Yeah, and like you said that these were hard to find for you.
Yeah.
I don't want to expose your secrets to the world, but how did you find out about these? Like,
some of them, they're kind and they put their existence out there. You just gotta dig and go online and really look. But also, word of mouth, people who own them, they have buddies, and those buddies will bring in other buddies and people alike, and just that, I guess.
That's awesome. That's awesome to have that sense of community here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What has, speaking of the community, what has been the community's response to your new store in downtown Statesville?
Oh my gosh, everybody's so excited about it, and it makes me super excited too. I feed off of that energy, so the energy I put out into the store is just excitement, and I want people to get excited about these pieces as much as they excite me. So.
Yeah, and definitely.
Yeah.
I could even tell, like, I walked in, I've been there before. Definitely, you could tell walking in that the vibes were definitely there, and you could tell the energy was there, and I see that, and I do respect that a lot.
Good, yay, thanks.
How do you stay up to date with current fashion trends while maintaining the authenticity of your vintage style?
I don't stay up to date to any fashion trends. I make my own rules. I literally just go to the beat of my own drum. really, I gravitate towards the vintage stuff, so there's really no way for me to be like, saying that there's anything that, I just go to, I guess.
So you don't look for trends for your store?
No, I don't like to look for the trends. I look for the things that are just not trendy at all. The things that make you be like, oh my gosh, like who would wear that? Those are the things that are my vibe. Colorful, crazy, just things that are just really out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give to someone interested in starting their own vintage clothing business?
It's cutthroat. But do your thing, stand out. Don't be afraid to go the extra mile to make yourself stand out as a business, because a lot of people just don't. And I think it's really important to make the aesthetics reflect on what you want to perceive out there for your brand.
Definitely. I think a lot of brands actually do struggle with that now, and I'm glad to see that people are trying to fight against like fast fashion and all that. It's beautiful,
Yes.
Are there any upcoming events or collaborations or special collections that your customers can look forward to seeing soon?
I'm always doing pop-up events, whether it be like local or in Charlotte or around the area. I travel up to like a few hours away, honestly. Off the top of my head, I know that Wine Walk is in Statesville, I think next month. That is one thing that we look forward to doing and participating in within the community. Other than that, I feel like the events that I do with pop-ups, they kind of like, they're sporadic. So you'll have to follow me on Instagram to like kind of keep up with all that.
What's your last pop-up that you've done?
My last pop-up was in Durham.
Durham? How was that like?
Girl, it was windy. It was bad. It was a great pop-up. I love going there, but like the wind and I were not friends that day.
Oh, I assume that had so many problems. Like, what challenges did you have? Was it outside?
Yes.
Was it like a tent type situation you had going on, or
things just falling, blowing away? It's just chaos sometimes, and those are things you gotta just roll with the punches.
Exactly. You just gotta get through it.
Yeah.
Sell as much as you can.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. How has the transition from being a pop-up shop, like you just said, like you used to do those, how is the transition to that to a permanent store?
It's so great knowing that I don't have to like break down all of my things and load them back into a car and like pop up somewhere else and just do it all over again all the time. Instead, I have like a regular store that just has things all the time that I can switch up easily and just be out there permanently instead of not permanently.
Well, it's still nice that you're still keeping in touch with your roots and still doing the pop-ups, because that's always still a way to get out your business.
Absolutely. It's
and
great
it could
for
help you out
marketing.
with advertising a lot,
Absolutely.
And for my last question, how do you curate these items for your store? Like, what criteria do you use when selecting the pieces and all that?
Basically, if it's ugly, I'm like, yes. That's the vibe. But no, honestly, colorful, fun, funky, unique, things that just are different, I suppose, is what I
Would you
carry.
say that you do have a pretty decent job with regulating between fast fashion and older? You could tell it took more time and quality in it.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how I'm so, like, I feel like I'm a magnet to, like, vintage clothing. For some reason, I'm always able to just find something that is vintage and automatically know, like, whether it be, like, the tag, whether it be the single stitching, whether it be, like, the garment itself, like, if it's, the materials that it's made out of. I just always find it. I don't know how, but yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It might be like the energy, like it feels, like the clothing feels you. Yeah.
Put it out to the universe that you want it, and it's going to just show up.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, Haley, if there's anything you else like to add on, go right ahead.
I don't know.
Advertise your Instagram,
Instagram is Disco Dolphin VTG. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Well, thank you so much again, Haley, for coming.
Thank you so much
If
for
you
having
guys,
me.
Of course. If you guys want to stop down and see Haley's shop, she's located in downtown Statesville. And
111 South Center Street.
there we go. What? Oh, but don't go anywhere yet. Our next guest is the owner of a hair salon. Coming up, we have high school students. Are you struggling to find someone to help you with jobs? Yeah, restart. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's not going up. I don't know what to tell you. Is that good? Is that fine? Okay, it's good. Okay. Coming up, our next guest is a teacher at the, no, she's not a teacher. She's the career development coordinator. Coming up, an interview with the career development coordinator at Katz High School. We're not a high school. This isn't high school. I'm freaking out. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of panicking. Interview with a woman who's dedicated her life to helping students prepare for their lives after high school. But she hasn't. She used to be a teacher. This isn't like her full thing. This is not her full thing. Yes, they do. That's misleading. That is actually a libel. Where's the... Kind of a former teacher who has now turned her focus to helping kids prepare for their lives after high school. The Crawford one isn't in there, isn't it? Oh, brother. We were not ready for this at all. We have a lot of good stuff going on right now. Like, we have a film going on right now, too, and all that. So this was just a lot of stress, that's all. A lot of stress. We're not finishing it. We have an hour. We have 3 guests still, and whatever problem this is. Lucy's going next. Lucy's here. Yeah, I guess. I'm assuming they're putting her on, so. It's full. Oh my God, y'all! I'm scared right now. You did a great job. You did a very good job. Yes. Thank you. What do I do? Am I reading the teleprompter? I'm not following the finger. It's backwards. Do you want me to do a countdown? And after the break, we move on to our next guest, a local high school theater director and some of her principal actors, here to tell us about their upcoming show. We'll be right back with Miss Stephanie Skindalowski after the break.